This is the story of when I moved 700 miles away from my old life just days before I started my junior year of high school at a new school. I lived in Maryland for 12 years and had settled my entire life there. I had friends, a cheer team I loved, an awesome house, and a general sense of comfort with my life in Maryland. When the summer before my junior year started, I was loving life and excited for the summer before school to start again, but my parents sat me down and told me that I would be moving to Georgia before the summer was over. I would have to say goodbye to everything I knew and loved, and I was absolutely devastated. I spent the rest of the summer trying to jam-pack all the memories I could with my friends before I left. Eventually, it was time we packed everything up and head south. We had to move 5 cars and 4 pets, so it consisted of quite a few trips. The drives took around 13 hours, and each one seemed longer than the last. When everything was finally in Georgia, it then had to sit in storage because our house wasn't ready. We stayed with a family friend for a month in her basement before we moved into our house, which was a chaotic mess in itself. My first night's sleep in Georgia was the night before my very first day of school. I slept on an air mattress and lived out of a box, but we finally moved into the house and got settled. Going to a new school in the middle of high school is scary when you literally know no one, but there wasn't an option and I would have to make do with my new situation. At the time, I had no idea why my parents wanted to move us so bad, but looking back, it all makes sense. Where I lived in Maryland was a nice area, but it was so different from the environment here in the South. As it's well known that junior year is one of the most important for college, I was happy to know that I had many choices here in Georgia, and I was even more happy to learn about the Hope Scholarship. In Maryland, everyone asked me, "Are you going to college?" But here in Georgia, everyone was asking, "Where are you going to college?" The difference was subtle, but I noticed it and realized how fortunate I was to be in this new place. My high school years were stressful and seemed lonely at times, but I eventually got comfortable. I fell in love with finding new food spots, seeing concerts, and making trips to Atlanta. Where we moved in Georgia is called Peachtree City, and it's famous for everyone owning a golf cart and driving just about everywhere in them, including the grocery store, work, and shopping. This helped to make me love it more just because it was something fun to do when I was bored. I would just drive around until I could find something to do. When high school came to an end, I had decided on KSU, and I was excited to start college, basically getting another fresh start. I decided to go through recruitment my first semester, and even though I'm not a typical sorority girl, looking back it was a great decision. It forced me to be social, make friends, and stay busy. My sorority even helped me to choose a major because I worked with our communication chair and fell in love with it. Without my college experience that I've had this far, I would not be so happy with my life here in Georgia that I am. If someone would have told me that first year that I moved here that it did get better, I would laugh in their face and tell them that I already had a one-way flight booked back to Maryland. But now that I am here, I could never imagine leaving. I hope I am lucky enough that I can work and live here for much longer with a great career in communications. College truly is a place that can define a person and help them make personal life choices, and I am glad that my experience was here in Georgia.